Hi everyone, I'm Dani Walker. Welcome to my channel. Today's episode is a Miss Teen USA 2019 preliminary recap. If you're new to this channel, please be sure to subscribe, hit that notifications bell, as well as follow me on social media at Dani Walker. Something that was a little bit different this year than last year at Teen USA was last year's Miss Teen USA prelim competition was not held in the same finals venue. I thought that using the same venue for prelims and finals obviously made sense this year because they were running those shows back to back and it would be easier to reset. The only thing that I would say I didn't love about that is that you're already showing off the Miss Teen USA stage and the Miss USA stage in that same telecast. So it kind of ruins the surprise for the Miss USA stage, and that's something I didn't realize last year when I was competing. Overall, I thought the production was really beautiful. I thought that Haley and Tim did a great job hosting the preliminary competition. I liked the staging for the show. I loved how it opened with a simple movement pattern and then walking patterns. I thought that the girls were so cute introducing themselves, and I really liked the coordinated Sherry Hill opening production number outfits. I thought that they looked very teen and that they just all blended really well together. So I thought they did an excellent job on that. First, I'll start with active wear. The girls that stood out to me right off the bat, and I'm just gonna quick call them, were Alabama, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Connecticut, DC, Florida, Illinois, Indiana, Massachusetts, Michigan, Mississippi, Nevada, New Jersey, North Dakota, Ohio, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, and Washington. If I had been a judge and if I had been in their interviews, I know that those results for me in terms of athletic wear would have been very different. Like the girls that would have stood out to me would have been a smaller number. Even though I had those girls down for the ones that I liked for prelims, there were still only a few that to me really kind of stood out. So the first one that I wrote, and I literally put a star by her name, was Arkansas. I wrote solid. I just thought that she was just solid on stage for athletic wear. I do have to say that very first group of contestants that came out for athletic wear were so strong consistently, and they set a really high bar, I would say, for the rest of the contestants in the pageant. And I think that that does sometimes affect your scoring when you see a very strong group of girls and you look at them during that final lineup. It kind of makes you scrutinize those girls a little bit more when they're in those harder groups. And then if you were in a weaker group, like a weaker top 10 group or lineup, I think that if you are a decent or strong competitor, it's easier to stand out when the group as a whole is not as strong. I actually judged California for her local title, the title she won before she won Miss California Teen USA. And so I'm a personal fan of her, and I think that she has such a great interview and she's so very teen. So I was just excited to see her on stage, and I thought that she did really well. Connecticut, I wrote right beside her, loved her hair. I liked Mississippi, and I really liked her hairstyle. I thought it worked so well for her. For me, during athletic wear, it was a little bit pageanty, the walk, like when you would do the swinging kind of robotic arms or like glitz style of pageantry arms, and that was just my one note for her, but I absolutely loved her, and obviously I'm just being super picky. To me, New Jersey did really well. I thought that she was so confident on stage, and I absolutely fell in love with North Dakota as soon as she stepped on stage. When I saw her during athletic wear, I was like, wow, that girl is so teen, she's so age appropriate, and she's just happy and has such a great vibe about her that I immediately had her in my top 5. South Carolina to me also was another very solid contestant. I thought she stood out, and it's not surprising coming from RPM. Tennessee just shined. I think she too is like that pageant girl on stage, and I feel like maybe that's why she didn't advance to a top 5 in the very end, is they might have seen her as like, this is just a pageant girl, instead of somebody who's like that real and relatable. But regardless, I loved Tennessee. I thought she was stunning, and her hair is just hair goals. I have a feeling that that's actually her hair, just because it's just such a great natural hairline that I feel like that's probably her hair. I would love to see her compete at Miss USA one day. Washington, I loved in athletic wear. I know Lily and I really love her energy, and I kind of expected her to come out with that same kind of energy. So I loved her in athletic wear. If you loved Miss Teen USA preliminaries, comment cool down below. I want to hear from you guys. I want to know if you loved the show. Hopefully you got to watch it, and if not, are you gonna go watch the show in the future? Let's talk about prelim gown. Obviously Sherry Hill's the sponsor. We knew that everybody was gonna wear Sherry Hill dresses, and I didn't realize how much I would miss seeing some other designers thrown in there. Typically a lot of Teen USA contestants wear Sherry Hill. It looks great on stage. Her styles are solid, but it was always nice to just see a little bit more variety from other designers instead of the same consistent styles or fabrics or cuts. I missed that part of the evening gown competition. For gown, my quick list was Alabama, Arkansas, California, Connecticut, DC, Hawaii, Illinois, Louisiana, Massachusetts, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nevada, North Dakota, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, and Washington. So those were the girls that right off the bat stood out to me, and then I kind of scrutinized more. So I really loved Alabama's blue chiffon gown. I thought it was just so pretty on stage. That's how I would describe it, just pretty gown. Now Connecticut, when she came out, that girl just shines, and she was always a standout, I think, from the very beginning. When I saw her on stage, she just had this authenticity to her, in addition to performing very well on stage. And that is it's a killer combination. The one thing I didn't love was that scarf around her neck. I just didn't feel like that extra piece of chiffon did anything for the dress. But without it, it would have been a completely plain Sherry Hill style. So I feel like it did give it a little bit of something, but I wish we could have seen those chiffon pieces just executed in a different way instead of just having that piece of fabric around her neck. And I remember for Illinois, I wrote, yes, pink princess dress. That was one of my favorite Sherry Hill dresses at New York Fashion Week. I absolutely love that we got to see that dress on stage. I do wish the train was just a little bit shorter. Louisiana looked so well styled in her lavender high neck halter dress. So great on her. I really enjoyed that styling. So whoever did that, very well done. Massachusetts, so she was one of the only girls who wore more of a form-fitted, straight style dress, and I liked seeing that because it was different. I loved the one shoulder. I really liked the sash that was attached to it. I thought it was so pretty on her, and I actually liked that she kept the straight hair, because I feel like if she did like big voluminous hair, well actually she has really long hair, so that would be hard to do, but if she did have a big voluminous style, it would be a lot because of that side piece that she had. So that was great. She loves red dresses, so I wasn't surprised to see her in a red dress again at Miss Teen USA. I do want to note for Missouri, I was surprised that I liked a brunette in navy. I rarely like that, but I thought she wore it well, and that is worth mentioning. Mississippi to me was a solid teen dress. We've seen that Sherry Hill couture on the runway before, and I loved seeing it at the Miss Teen USA pageant because it was just one of my favorite girly dresses, and I loved the pieces that drape on the shoulder just because they're ultra feminine, and I feel like that really suited her soft and feminine style. Shout out to Montana Teen. I love Megan so much, and she was so cute in her blue dress. She, I know, personally loves very girly pastel colors and feminine styles, so I like that she stayed true to that on stage. And also keep in mind, this is only her second pageant, so I was just really excited to see her getting out there and just representing our state well. Nevada, I like that gown that she wore. I think I would have preferred seeing it on a Miss contestant, and I'm not surprised if we do see something like that at Miss USA. I thought that the shoulder pads that were rhinestone encrusted are beautiful, but she has such a small frame, so for me it was just a little bit overwhelming. I thought it was a smart choice putting her hair back. She has a beautiful face, and because there was so much going on, that it was good to help give her a cleaner look so it wasn't too over the top. North Dakota, so she wore just a Sherry Hill prom style, and she still worked it. I just loved her confidence on stage, like I said. And we don't hear of North Dakota as like this big pageant state typically, but they really showed up this year. I was such a fan of Ohio's gown. I thought that the style on her was beautiful. I loved the orange accents on her dress, and then I loved that she had the orange and light blue earrings with that, and it really reminded me of the Gianni Strassier dress that Vanessa Gonçalves wore at Miss Venezuela when she won. I really loved that we saw that similarity of the light blue with the orange accent. I took note of Tennessee's white gown. That girl can really wear white. I think because she was so tanned that it helped to pop on her, but I was surprised to see a dress that was so similar to last year's Miss Tennessee Teen USA. So it was almost like the same type of style with a small rhinestone embellishment, and I believe a different neck. I think hers was spaghetti strap, and then last year's was halter. If you watch this episode on your mobile device, please be sure to screenshot this, post it on one of your Instagram stories, and tag me with your thoughts on this episode. I would love to hear what you think. Those are my picks for the preliminary competition and my overall thoughts. If you guys want to see what I thought about the Miss Teen USA finals, then click the description below. I will link that episode down in there as well. But thank you so much for joining me for this episode. I really appreciate it. I would love to hear your guys' comments and thoughts. Please make sure that they're positive and encouraging, because the girls read these sometimes and it's important that we're always still supporting them. But thank you guys for tuning into this episode. Please be sure to follow me on social media, like this video, share it, subscribe, comment on it, and also tune in for the next episode. Thanks so much.